In this question, we have been given two blocks, 1 kg, and another block is 0.5 kg. The two blocks are kept on a surface whose coefficient of friction with the blocks is 0.2. The question is, what are the accelerations of these two 1 kg blocks and what is the tension between these two 1 kg blocks? Okay, so now let's find out the acceleration. But before we find out the acceleration, we should make sure that if this system will be accelerating or not. Now the downward force here acting will be 0.5 into 10, that is mg, that is 5 Newton force. Downward force is 5 Newton. If this force is greater than the total frictional force acting on these two blocks, then the system will move. Otherwise it will not. So let's find out the frictional force. On this block there will be a frictional force F1, and on this block there will be frictional force F2. Okay, this should be the limiting friction. This 5 Newton force should be greater than the limiting friction, then only it will move. So the limiting friction on 1 kg block will be mu mg. Okay, so mu is 0.2 into 1 into 10. So we get 2 Newton. Similarly, this also will experience 2 Newton friction. So the total friction is equal to 4 Newton. Now this 5 Newton force is greater than the total friction. That means this whole system will accelerate. Okay, so now let's find out the acceleration. Now what is the net force acting on the system? Net force acting on the system is 5 Newton in this direction, okay, minus 4 Newton. 4 Newton is the frictional force. So total force is 1 Newton. Net force is 1 Newton. What is the total mass over here? Total mass is 2.5 kg. Now acceleration is net force upon total mass. Net force upon total mass. So we have 1 Newton divided by 2.5 kg. So this will become 2 divided by 5 meter per second square. So this will be 0.4 meter per second square. This will be the acceleration. Now let's find out the tension. Let's say there is a tension T dash here, and let's say there is a tension T dash here, and there is a tension T here, and there is a tension T upwards here on this block. So now this T dash tension will act on this 1 kg block and friction force will be F1, but the acceleration is also known to us, that is 0.4. So let's write down the free body diagram for this 1 kg block. So it will look something like this. So this is the 1 kg block here, this is the tension T dash, and there is a frictional force F1. This is 1 kg block. So T dash minus F1 is equal to 1 into A. Now the acceleration is 0.4, and the frictional force we already found out. What was the frictional force? It was 2 Newton. So frictional force was 2 Newton. So T dash. So T dash will be 2.4 Newton. This will be the T dash. So we got the T dash. Now let's find out the T, tension T. Now how will you find out the tension T? We know this tension T like this, and there is a 5 Newton force downwards. Now there will be the tension T upwards. So what will be the acceleration of 0.5 kg block? If I draw the free body diagram again here, let me draw it here. So this is 0.5 kg mass, tension T is upwards, downward force is 5 Newton, and the acceleration is 0.4. So 5 Newton minus T is equal to 0.4 into 0.4. So this will be 0.2, 5 minus T. So T will be 5 minus 0.2. That will be 4.8 Newton. So T will be 4.8 Newton and T dash is 2.4 Newton and acceleration is 0.4 meter per second square.